Oh shoot, let me tag you in it. I keep forgetting the tags. Dun, dun, dun,
Nah, it's
dun.
all good, man.
There we go. We're all set. All right, and we're
All
back
right.
for more chicanery,
Hell
shenanigans,
yeah.
effery,
Hell yeah,
foolery.
man. Hell yeah, man. Listen. Nah, man, I've been watching your streams. I mean, look, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it 10,000 times, man. I've been very, very, just very busy. Very,
Good,
because I
good.
mean, as of now, I got on payroll. So now that I'm on pay, that's not honestly that's not stopping me from going to Texas. I'm still going.
Okay.
Like, I don't care what they say. I said, "I'm gonna make my money this year, and if you say that I cannot go, I made my money, my 37.5.
Mm-hmm.
If you say I cannot go, I'm still going."
Right.
Listen, Texas, there listen, Elon's about to be there, okay, Motion Pictures is about to be there, so that's money I'm not like, I would be stupid to stay here for the next 3 years of my life and be like, "Well, nah, this is just money I don't want." No, I want that money, man. I want the money because I'm looking at homes down there, and I'm just like, "Yeah, yeah, man, yeah, listen, I would stay at my cousin's for about a few months, but, I'm looking at a starter house down in Texas,
Okay.
so, I
Good deal.
mean,
Good
me
deal.
I mean, me and the lady are talking about that, so that's just, I mean, it's just the way it is, man. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, getting up there, so I'm trying to start my life, man, trying to start it, right, because I mean, I spent half the decade, I mean, just here at my parents. I mean, I used to live in Brooklyn, and then when I got, stuff happened in Brooklyn, I'm not gonna go into further details, but you can kinda read between the lines that something happened over there that was not my doing. I came back here, I was trying to get I was getting my bread up. I was gonna be like, "All right, I'm gonna go rent." But then I thought about it, like, I really started thinking about rent over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then, everything with the congestion pricing, it's
Mm-hmm.
just because
Yeah.
they just dude, the congesting pricing in New York City right now is just horrendous. Like, I'll tell you this. So I was on the 2 train on Thursday, and it came to a stop at, I think, 96th Street, and I was right there, it was packed, you can't get a seat anywhere, you're packed like sardines and all that, and then some, homeless dude decides, You know what, I'm just gonna take a shit on the train.
Are you
Just I'm gonna just
serious?
yeah, yeah, no, no, I'm not even joking, like, he just took a shit he just took a shit on the train, and then, push comes to everybody running. I'm like, "Why is everybody running out of the train?" And then the conductor's like, "Everybody else, somebody took a shit on the train." I'm like, "Bro."
Wow. Like it's just like it's nothing. It's like it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just a regular yeah, it's a regular Tuesday. I mean, technically, it was a Thursday for me. I'm just like, I'm trying to go home. The Port Authority finna be, delayed and all that other stuff, and it's just like, man, come on, can we at least have some form of decent? But it's New York City. I don't expect nothing from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm at the point where I'm just like, all right, it'll just take one. I mean, it took 1,000 things, but it's gonna take 1,001 for me to be like, all right, yep, Texas, here I come. I don't care. Y'all can keep. Listen, I give it to somebody else. I quit. I give up. Cool. Oh, you're too weak for New York City. You're not built for New York. Okay, cool, fine. I'll be the weakling. Okay, I'll be the pussy that went over to Texas. Yes, I will do that because I think I would say you have to be either stupid or have a death wish to stay in New York or New Jersey right now. You have to have a death wish.
Well, if you were in a higher tax bracket, would you have a different thought process outlook? No.
No,
So not
no,
enough. There's not
because
enough money for you to.
there's not enough money for me to stay. There's not a there's I'll say this, man, because I guess I'm at the point to where I'm just like I guess I've checked out, and I'm just like, yeah, Texas is just I'm thinking about Texas every day. You
Okay.
know, I'm at the point where I'm just like, yo, look. I ain't trying to die in this piece. I ain't trying to listen. I don't care. Like I have a job. I have a band that's gonna be doing a bunch of shows in February, March, and April. And then on top of that, but after that, I got nothing else. All my friends are gone. Like
Mm,
I'm not, and the friends I do have, or the friends I did have, are just like fucking bums, and I'm just like, I ain't trying to stick with you, bro. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be solo dolo versus hanging out with a bunch of bums.
right,
Okay, like
right.
I ain't trying to do that, man. Like you got me fucked up if you're trying to make me do all that, man.
Mm,
That's not um. So I at a certain point, like you gotta kind of out because I was talking to somebody about this, and he was talking to me about just kind of think about it and make a list. Whenever you're ready, make a list of pros and cons of staying here, pros and cons of going.
mm,
And I'm just like, I'm at that point where I'm going to make that list, and I didn't do it yet because I'm still, it's still early. It's January. I'm not thinking. I got other things to think about right now, to a point where, but it's still on my mind. Like, okay, every day waking up, got to get there 2 hours and all that other stuff, and it's just, it kind of gets to a point where, it's just like, okay, I what else do I have to lose? I have nothing. So,
right.
and I'm at that point. So I'm just like, you know what? It's gonna be, listen, I'm gonna make my money this year. I'm gonna go to Texas, start doing my shit over there, come back. But when I make my money here, I'm going back. You cannot stop me, okay? Because I'm not trying to stay here. Okay. Like I will do my payroll, I will do my 3 years of imprisonment. Okay. I'm glad to be on payroll, but I will do my 3 years. I will pay my dues, and then when the time comes, when I make that 3750 and it's on my pay stub, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I will leave. I'm not. Listen, I will say to my boss, listen, I will be back, but not today. Okay, because at a point, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm considered full time to them, but like not on paper. Like I don't have like a bigger position to be like, yeah, we need you. Like I'm like, yeah, I can walk out. Like it
Mm,
don't matter to me. You can find somebody else tomorrow,
mm,
but it does matter because it's like they do pay for like the entrance fee, so I'm already in. So I'm
okay.
just like waiting to get my cards, so then I can really skedaddle. I can really, blue skidoo weekend too. I'm not,
Yeah.
like I'm trying to get the fuck up out of here, bro. Like
Yep.
I already see what's on the horizon with like I was looking at the MTA, and I know I'm rambling about like the tri-state area, but I was looking at what they were doing with like the turntiles at the MTA where you have to pay, right?
Mhm.
At the gates. So they put up these like teeth, these kind of, I don't know how you could put them. They're like teeth or something. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I just think that they're just lazy. At this point, people in New York are just lazy. The people up top don't care. They're gonna lose money anyway, and
Yeah.
they're still gonna ask for bailouts or try to extort you for money. Like, oh, at this point, fuck it. Like I don't care. Like what can possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now that I've done all that, I've talked about my life and all that I'm doing. Let's talk about these black conservatives. So tomorrow is
Be
Trump's inauguration.
It's gonna be one of the most watched events ever, and I'll be watching just like everybody else.
You know what? I'm well endowed prepared for Trump at this point. It's like what else is there? Like I mean, Trump has said pretty much everything that we kind of need to know. Like we're all screwed, so there's that.
Mhm,
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with all of it. I just think that it just hasn't really settled with people yet. That like the whole conservatism thing has literally left the window.
mhm,
Like it's just left the building. Nobody cares about conservatism or liberalism. It's all about money at the end of the day, and it's always going to be about money. You know,
So,
who's gonna be on top and who's gonna be on the bottom.
so will you continue to vote as a libertarian moving forward, or you're past the parties at this point?
On past parties, man. Like I
Okay.
think everybody should be. Like everybody, I think my generation is currently like, who cares? You know, like we're the generation of who care. Like we can't own houses. You can barely afford a car. You know, like what makes you think that it's like, you know, we're at the point like what makes you think we're gonna care? You
Okay.
know, if all we got is a job and trying to afford things, like I mean, I okay, I get that, you know, vacations are supposed to be some sort of luxury, and I get that,
Mm,
but I would say, like, you would need something inside of me is like, okay, a week's vacation's not good enough, right? A week's vacation, like, it's like, not enough, okay? Sometimes your paid sick leave is not really, you know, helping the bills. Hopefully, you got Aflac. I used to have Aflac, and I stopped paying Aflac. It was just dental. It was I had like the protective dental
mhm.
up until I needed it, and then you know Aflac was just like, yeah, you know what, you can pay for your root canal, right? I'm just like, I pay y'all niggas $60 a month, and y'all say that to me, bro. I was like, nah, fam, like y'all bugging, man. Y'all bugging. Y'all bugging. I
Yeah,
ain't doing that shit.
yeah, that's what it be like. That is definitely what it be like.
But I guess to a certain extent, you know, I think about just my life in general, right? And I know I'm going back to me. You know, I'm very narcissistic, I know. But I just think that, you know, like, okay, you go to work, you go home, you go to work, you go home. You know, hopefully you don't, you know, take it out on your family or whatever. You know, I'm
Mhm,
trying to end that cycle because, you know, that shit happened to me as I grew up. You know, my dad and mom came home and all this other shit, and I don't want to get into that. But um, you go to work, you get taxed to death. You hope to God you can have something for your savings and something to, you know, at least go out somewhere to. I don't really go out that much anymore. There's really no point in all that. Unless if I'm going out to band practice or somewhere else, I don't know where I'm gonna go.
mhm,
Um, and I think to myself, well, I can only afford but so many things now. So it's like, I mean, we don't have that many. I don't have that much disposable income. I mean, even if I get like two, three more side hustles and side gigs, and including my YouTube channel, I'm just like, shit, man. Like, I'm just putting money away. I'm putting money away. I'm investing my money. I mean, some of it. I mean, I only put like $15 in crypto, but most of it goes into savings, investments, health, life insurance. You know, like I mean, the actual assets, man. Like I mean, I think about it like, you know, like I. What do you want me to do? Like, it's like, well, don't you have a career? Yeah, I do have a career, and the wages stagnated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm,
wages stagnate. So at a certain point, you're kind of like, well, it doesn't matter what political aisle you're on, and it does not matter at all.
mhm,
I think personally, it's just gonna be like, well, you're either well off or fucked, and most of 99% of society is fucked.
mhm.
So might as well just get used to it, you know.
Well,
Just saying.
that's a very pragmatic way to look at it.
I mean, look, enjoy the decline, man. I think about it as me enjoying the decline, you know, just sitting back watching people fight. I think that just I say let the monkey shows keep going because all y'all are monkeys to me. It don't matter what race or creed or it don't matter the race, origin, or creed. Y'all still monkeys to me.
Gosh.
Y'all care too much about liberal and conservative. Y'all get shit. It won't listen, the only party that matters to me is the green, okay? And I'm not talking about the green party. I mean the literal bag, okay? It does not matter to me, okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to get a house, I'm trying to get a car, I'm trying to stay away from y'all niggas, okay? That's my apropos, okay? That's how I get down. So it doesn't matter to me. Go ahead.
You think the people are having a legit wake up call, or you just think it's just they're just victims of the emotional moment?
You know, you know, that's a trick question. I'm not gonna answer that with a yes or no. I'm not gonna even answer that with like a definitive answer. But what I could say is, and you know what, you know what, let me just pull. Thank you for to Thai City for this, man, because I'm not gonna put all it like maybe
Hold up, mute your hold up, mute. Well, if you're gonna screen share, you gotta mute that page.
I gotta mute it.
Wait,
Very tight, man.
wait, hold up. Yeah, still, you gotta mute. You gotta hit the mute the sound, the audio.
No, so I'm so going with
Red, hold up, pause it.
All right, but
So, okay, from what I've been told, you gotta hit the mute on your audio on your in your window.
okay, on window is I the button here.
It should be a mute. Mute your audio and then let the video play. Okay, I don't hear anything on the video.
Shit.
Uh-oh,
You
yes.
know,
Yeah, the audio's still jacked up.
so tweet out
Still messed up.
this promo and
Red, hold up. The audio's still jacked up. Check your audio settings.
Hold up. Let me see. Audio settings are. Wait. Yeah, my roadcaster. Hold on a sec. Default internal microphone. No, I'm on my roadcaster.
Hold up. Okay, so when you do the screen share, they tell me you have to mute the audio on.
So mute the audio on the video.
Right. I think that's it. All I know is.
Let me see. All right, can you hear it?
No, I don't see the screen share. It hasn't popped up.
Oh wait. Oh wait, hold on a second. Oh man, we're playing these games today. This is why you stream your.
Nope, it went back. It's still jacked up.
You know, fuck. But all right. So, but going back to what I was saying. So I was looking at this whole black conservative perspective, and I'll shout out Uncut Underground for it. So basically what he was saying is that the whole racism thing, oh, that doesn't exist. Basically, he was saying that, oh, you know, like there's factions in the conservative party and all this other stuff, and I'm sitting there like, this nigga really sitting here with a straight face saying this shit, like why? Like you're gonna sit there with, and these are what's his name again? Jimmy Dore, and Jimmy Dore is, you know, like he's liberal. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's kind of on like the centrist side of things, but I'm pretty sure he's a complete he's a leftist. Let's say that.
Mm-hmm.
And to go on to a leftist platform and kind of just say, you know, the like all that stuff, I'm kind of looking at you like you really out here doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all really out here doing this? I can't. I personally couldn't do it. Okay, I personally can't sit here and sit there with a straight face and say, you know what? It's all, you know, like, you know, the white people that got a reason to be upset and all this other stuff. I'm like, yo, do you really think that you're like white to these people? Like, and if you saw the video, they're looking at him like, yo, this nigga really thinks he one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the liberals have a funny way of saying to black people, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are black, okay, versus the conservatives who will just outright say, listen, you are not one of us,
Mm-hmm.
okay. At least with the leftists, they're a bit nicer to say it, but with the conservatives, it's like you have to have a tougher skin for that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And not saying that I can't get past both of them, because at a certain point, I'm just like, I listen, I don't care. Both of y'all are in the same position as me. Okay. Y'all kids can't afford nothing. Y'all kids have to go to, have to live with roommates. Okay. None of us are having kids. None of them. Okay. None of them are having kids. None. Okay. So at a certain point, it's just like, listen. Listen. Y'all in the same position. But when it comes to like black conservatives, when it comes to them, I'm just like, like, come on, man. Like, we really out here doing this, like, I mean, pause, Greg Foreman deep throating Elon Musk as if, like he gonna really do something for him. It's like, no, man, like Elon Musk is out for himself, as he should be.
Mm-hmm.
He's Elon Musk is for self, man. I don't, it's just, I'm cool. I'm gonna stay here, be cool. I'm gonna watch all the other black conservatives, crash out and all that other stuff. I think what was his name? Not Brandon Tatum. He's a different breed. Candace Owens. I think the whole conservative base is getting tired of Candace Owens. At a certain point, where are these black conservatives gonna go? I don't think they can really go anywhere. I just don't think.
Do you think they'll still continue to be conservatives after Trump's term is up?
Yeah. I mean, if the money is still there, yeah, I think so. I would say so, because I mean, again, it's all about which political party has enough money to sustain their lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so, because I mean, at a certain point, the money dries out on both sides. So I mean, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to settle your assets somewhere. That's what I say. I think about it like that. Where are you gonna put your assets? Hey, that guy Merck says conservatives not worried about nothing. All right then. All right. Well, you're gonna be in the same boat as everybody else. So I mean, gear up for it.
So it sounds like there's two sets of people getting their wake up call. It would be urban folk, mainly urban Democrats, and then urban conservatives, those that deem themselves. Oh no, not so much Democrats, but I'm gonna say white middle class getting a wake up call with the capitalism moves that Trump is making, along with black conservatives.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would say like I would, man, look. I have not seen more miserable middle class white people being like, man, how am I gonna pay my bills this week? And I'm just sitting there like, it's a beautiful morning. Now you see what the niggas go through every day.
Yeah, it's
Now you see what we go through every day. How am I gonna pay? Yeah. Oh man, should I be playing the Good Times theme song right now? Because I think everybody needs it right now. Although the fucking sounds is fucked up, so I can't play nothing.
No, I can't imagine how sobering of a feeling that is for people to kind of get the rug pulled from under them and then find themselves in possible financial dire straits, like to this degree. So I don't know.
Of course. Like my pension ain't gonna pay for this. What do you mean my Social Security gonna dry out? Like,
well, you know what?
Listen, I'm not even gonna have it when I'm old. So what welcome to it, nigga.
Well, you may see more and more people dip into their IRAs and 401ks and kind of pull out $5-6 grand to kind of help them for the next few months. I I don't know.
I don't know how you're gonna do that because I don't know because hopefully you saved enough. Hopefully, because I can't even fathom this. I you know what? I actually can fathom it because I do it every day. It's called saving saving and waiting. Okay,
Mm.
saving, investing, and waiting. That's it. That's all you can do. Yeah. What else? What else? I mean, I have a saving. I put on a I have these post-it notes with my savings, what's in my savings right now, and how much to put in savings every so often when I get my check, every week
Mhm.
when I get my check, and then how much I put on credit cards, how much I'm putting on my bills, how much I'm putting in my 401k, my Roth IRA, my pension. I do that because at the end, I'm not going to the club. The only time when I actually do go out is when I'm playing with my band and needing to go get food. Like I shit you not, I don't go anywhere.
Mhm.
I don't, and that's to save money. That's to save money. I've been wearing the same clothes since high school. I'm not even joking. I have not changed since high school. I mean, certain parts of me have changed, but it's not to a point where like I need to like. I, okay, let me say this. Some clothes I still have from high school, and I have not had to like get clothes until those clothes have basically just shit the bed, right? I don't I wear the same clothes every day because A saves me money. That's number 1. Number 2, I know when to dress, so I don't do the whole Kevin Samuels thing. I know when to wear a polo shirt and everything else. And number 3, like I take care of my clothes, man. Like I don't have a closet full of clothes because like yo, I mean somebody else can wear my clothes. I mean, I get a small cut of profit when I give my clothes away. So like you got to like also think about it like that, like I kind of live minimally. I don't have that much stuff. If I were to ever leave this place, I'm not carrying a lot of stuff
Mm.
because I don't own that much stuff. It's getting to a point in our generation and generations forward where you're not going to own much stuff. You're not going to own much of anything. Like everything. Like I was looking at this app. What is it called? Zipcar or some shit
Okay.
where you're on the app, you go to it. It's like having a rental car, but without having like the whole rental car process. You pay the insurance, you go get the car, you drive it for however long, and then you take it and then you bring it back and all that other stuff, right? So basically it's getting to it's like with the city bikes. It's gonna get to a point where, like you're not gonna own a bike. Like it is what it is.
Um, yeah, that guy Merc, I think he's mistaken. He's got us confused with somebody. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But Jehu, thank you for the 5 on the super chat. Your slot ninjas can't be conservative. They don't own anything. What are they trying to conserve? Oh Lord.
Listen, if you don't have basic assets like a Roth IRA, you're not a conservative. I've been a quote unquote social conservative. Well, I'm not even a conservative. I'm a libertarian, but I've been quote unquote social conservative since 19. I've understood the importance of having certain assets to value the dollar, not just pull them up by the bootstrap. Like the slave talk, which would be pull them up by your bootstraps, that
Mhm.
philosophy. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work because you don't work, you don't eat. Okay, you don't work, you don't eat. So I get that. I will not say don't go to work and collect unemployment. Yeah,
Mhm.
don't do that. Because you will owe the government. Um, but what I will say is, like that whole, pull them up by the bootstraps. If you just, you pay your dues and all that other stuff. Now the world has changed, man. Like whomever is gonna give you a better deal, that's who's gonna be that's who's gonna look out for you. You know what I'm saying? I know this game now. I know people that be like, well, you see, I worked in here for as long as I could, and I pulled myself up by the bootstraps, and I got promoted, and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, I can, I'm not saying I'm a bad worker. I'm a very hard worker. I'm just saying to myself, y'all just love hazing people, don't you? I just think about like I just think that, like I just think that jobs nowadays are just complete like it's like being at a frat. I've never
Mm,
been a part of a frat, but if that was the case, it'll be work, you know?
gotcha. KJD wants to know what's your take on NYC, Eric Adams and Trump. I have no. I hope Eric
Uh,
Adams goes to goes to prison. I don't know.
yeah, we all want Eric Adams to go to jail. That nigga deserves to go to jail. I don't like Eric Adams. No one does. I think he wants Trump in his vicinity so that he can, like, how do I say this? I think him having Trump or trying to be in Trump's good graces is so that he doesn't get a bigger sentence to what he's going to get,
Mhm.
you know. And I just think that Kathy Hochul is a bigger piece of shit, because she said, oh well, you see, uh, there's no crime in the subway. It's just all in your head. It's all in your head. While somebody got burnt alive, while somebody got shoved in the tracks,
I
while somebody
saw
got
that, man.
stabbed,
That shit is insane.
somebody got. But Mayor Hochul's like, it's just all in your. Why? It's all in your head. You're going crazy. All that pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, and you guys are going nuts. Maybe the bootstraps aren't tighter enough. No, they're both pieces of shit, and I just hope they both go to jail. We all listen. The, why um I was watching a video. His name's Cash Jordan. He does a lot of New York City videos about how the subway shit and all that. Okay,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And he was doing a video, and I've recently watched it about how all the pharmacies are closing down. I said it's gonna get to a point where, like it's gonna get shit's gonna get real. Okay, like listen, I see it every day. Homeless people selling, Lululemon outside of the A train, man. With the shit still on it, trying to get their fentanyl fix. So it's at a point where I mean, it's something got to give at some point. Something has to give. Okay, it's either us or them, and it's gonna be them at some point.
Mhm.
Okay, it's gonna be them. I digress. So how do I feel about Trump? Um, I think Trump is. You know what? I'll say this: Trump is not the 2016 Trump. Okay, this is a
Oh, I
different.
agree. I agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is a different Donald Trump from 2016. Okay, I'll give it as far as like pandemic Trump. Okay, pandemic Trump let what's his name? Fauci. He let Fauci just run that whole operation and take the credit. Okay, I saw that. That's why people voted Biden. Okay, now may not have been the right choice. All right, now everybody can say it's a pandemic, all that other stuff. Okay, I got you on that one. But Trump literally stepped back and let Fauci run the show.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is a different Trump from 2016. Okay, I'm gonna let people know now so that they don't get discouraged in the next 4 years. Okay, like in the next 4 years, you're gonna figure that out. You're gonna figure it out. And I'm gonna sit there and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, this isn't 2016 Trump. Okay, Snoop Dogg and all them. We fuck Donald Trump, and then Snoop Dogg like the pimps in the crib, like. Okay. 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 Yeah. Sure. Why not? Okay. Okay. I'll yeah. Listen. Elon Musk gonna be in Texas, and I'm gonna get mine, man. That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Well,
American Soul is says, I got one question. When y'all leaving America to go to Africa, listen, I've been born and raised in New Jersey. You're gonna have to take that 14th Amendment away from me in order to get me out of here. I got that real ID on you. I am a global citizen.
yeah, people complaining about the real ID. Yo, when you go get your license, when it's time to renew, you're gonna like. I've had mine
Listen,
for
I
I don't
already
know 2 years now. Like it's coming anyway.
listen. I got that shit Friday, man.
Oh,
I
did you?
travel.
Okay.
Yes, I travel I travel from state to state. Okay, I travel state to state um to do sound stuff. I have to do like audio deliveries or audio installs, and half the time I have to go from state to state. So I need that real ID. I can't be driving in that van or that 26 and I get pulled over and they roll up. Oh, you see, you don't have that you're gonna get some points because you don't have the real ID. I'm like,
Two,
nigga, what?
wait, 3 years. I remember when they first announced it 4 years ago. They were telling you this date, this month, this date, it's coming. And then 2 years prior, before it went active, it said this date, this year, it's coming. And then when you went into your DMV, whatever, they were telling you, hey, now it's time to get it. Like they you had about a 5 year window to be prepared for the real ID. Like there's no circumventing that shit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I went Friday. I had to go to Bayonne and I had to go, to the DMV in Bayonne. That man, look. Foreign, oh my god! When I tell you foreign people do not take showers, I'm like, fuck,
Okay.
man.
Okay. We're not gonna do.
Let me get out of there.
We're
Let
gonna
me
get
get
out
out
of
of
there.
there.
We're gonna get out of there.
Let me tell you. Okay, let me get out of there. Let me get out of there.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is, in 2 hours, it took me 2 to 3 hours to get a fucking star on my ID, which now has to. I already paid the money. Now it has to come in 2 weeks. So now I gotta carry a paper around that literally says this is my license
Oh, you
because I
didn't. Oh, you didn't get it like at the when you had. Oh,
No, they literally were just like, okay, we have everything. It all checks out. Here, you pay the $11. They never put the shit on there. I'm like, why didn't you just put the shit on there? Why do I have to wait in the mail to get it?
Oh, yours. Okay. I did everything when I switched my license over there. I did it all in one shot.
So wait. So let me get this straight. So I get the real ID this time. So I get the new ID in 2 weeks. Does that mean I have to still go every so often to get a real ID, or it's just
Whatever your expiration date on that card is.
so you mean I have to go for? Oh my!
So what you would hope is
I
so not only do you have to have the real ID, but then your driver's license also needs to star on it as well. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, but the license with the star on it takes care of everything. Like you give that, you're good to go. Or
no. Yeah. I have that. Yeah, it's the one and done thing. Like I'm just hoping that it because I got the real ID is the one with the star.
Yeah, I did that shit all in one shot. I was like, just go ahead and give me the thing right now, and it had a big ass banner like real ID coming such and such, or you can opt for it now. And I'm like, well, let me not waste time. Let me go ahead and get it done. That way, I ain't got to worry about it when it's and then you're gonna have to see a mass rush of people trying to get it at the last minute, like most people do.
But even when what was it? But even when New Jersey when my license expired, they never put on there like I mean you saw the signs, but it should be like a thing where they actually say, like, okay, get the real ID on there. Like, yes, so that you don't have to do like I don't know. I wish they would just do that instead of just waste your fucking time. But you gotta super chat.
Chef Camsey, thank you for the 10. Takes a lot of hard work, grinding, learning trades, and paying for tickets for jobs that seem a bit too hard, but they pay better. Oh shit! But they pay better than the normal 9 to 5. No such thing as learning an unvaluable trade. Eyes agree. Eyes agree.
Yeah,
Eyes
I mean, I
agree.
would agree on that. I'm not saying. I mean, I am a by trade. Yeah, I mean, I do carpentry and painting and installs and that stuff. I'm not, and then on top of that, I guess just basic CDL. I mean, I can drive a 26 and all that. I mean, would I get a class A CDL to drive tractor trailers? At some point, I'm probably might.
Mhm.
At some point, I might just do that.
There's no downside to that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in Texas, you can basically drive a tractor trailer almost anywhere. Over here, it's kind of like it's pointless, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, I can drive a 26 easy. It's not a if you've ever it's like driving a bus. Okay, if you ever I'm not saying I've driven a bus before, but if you know how to basically, like wide turns and then, like the whole push, I think it's push to release, pull to apply.
Mhm.
Like you got to make sure you do that and just make sure that you put, your DEF fluid in not where the diesel is and put your diesel where the diesel is. It's literally easy. So easy. I don't know how you do it.
Silva says just use your passport card for domestic travel. I don't have a passport card. I just get I just got the booklet. I've never gotten a passport card.
You know what? Speaking of that, Siova, I gotta renew my passport card because I do have to go to Canada at some point for business. So thank you for actually reminding me about that because I gotta do that. It's important that I do. I just haven't done it yet. So on a list of things to do. But going back to the whole political talk before we go into the whole Manosphere roast fest. That's just so I guess going back to it, I mean, in the future, listen, after Trump is gone, you're not going to get this. Politics is not going to be as fun, or it's not going to be as it's not going to be as interesting. Trump makes it interesting, and I just think after Trump, I mean, JD Vance, I don't think
I
people are not
don't
going to go
see
for
it in
JD
him, man.
Vance.
I just
People are not going to go for JD Vance
no,
because of
because once
he's
Trump
not
does when Trump puts the knife in everybody's back, he's gonna be associated with. He's gonna be so quiet over there. Not even He's gonna hope we forget. Hey, no, you were his VP, and you haven't seen JD Vance anywhere.
right. I mean, he's got the Indian wife. They're doing the interracial thing, which I mean, the H1B Trump hat wearers don't like. Like I mean, look, it's gonna be very interesting when 2028 rolls around because I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I agree with you. Like, I always say because you know, I see I see the I see uh Governor
Oh, Gavin, I'm telling you, he's the.
Galvin. I see Newsom becoming like he's gonna have a rough start because he's gonna have a lot to like why were you here at the pandemic and he's gonna sit there like
We're gonna forget all. Listen, after the 2028 Olympics, people are gonna forget all about the fires, all about how he was partying during COVID, because pretty much most of the state of California was open. Truth be told, and nah, man, gonna forget all that shit.
yeah. I mean people do have a very very short attention span. I just think like listen. TikTok has done its work. I will say TikTok. You know what? Even going, let's go over to TikTok real quick. We even care that TikTok is back. TikTok hasn't been what a couple hours before TikTok got
It was 12,
banned. And now
13 hours, 13 hours.
it was 13 hours. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna hold my breath that TikTok comes back. And guess what? people listen, I was watching NBC, and everybody's like, oh, thank God TikTok is gone, mental health is gonna return. I'm like, I don't know
I,
if y'all been paying attention, but even without TikTok, people been crashing out. Okay, like it hasn't been 24 hours into 2025 and people were crashing out.
well, yeah,
You know
people
what I'm saying?
forget every social media app has had its moment. Vine had its moment. IG was all the rage at one point. Tumblr, for those that rest in peace, Tumblr. But this is no different. But I hate me. I hate TikTok because it's just
It's
I don't know,
lazy.
extremely lazy. It's this, and it's this, and it's this. I'm like, what the fuck is what? Why are you even in the video then? You know?
Yeah. You could stitch somebody's video to a video that somebody did, and
Yeah,
it's just the algorithm just makes people go viral for the most dumbest shit. It's just like, I'm like, no, man.
yeah.
Like what I do on my channel is not easy. Okay. I mean, having to research, then do the script, then record 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, then do the editing, which takes a few days, then do the graphics, which takes a few days. Then it's not easy. Okay. But on TikTok, but you know what? I'll say this. I'll say this. TikTok is the great divider between content creators and just lazy ass people, because there are some good content creators on TikTok, and then there's the majority of people who just do these stupid dumbass pranks, some urban shit, urban shit, and then it's just it's just utter laziness. But people go viral over it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like YouTube, like people with YouTube and trying to grow their YouTube channel, it's not an easy thing. Like even for me, like even at my lowest times right now with my channel's still doing well. I'm still getting subscribers, still getting money, still getting views. They're like I'm at like I always go from 2,000 to 3,000 without even doing anything, you know?
Hmm.
But with TikTok, it's just I don't know how the algorithm works on TikTok, and nor do I care. And even when TikTok came out, I didn't care. And that was 2016. But I will say this. I will give TikTok credit where credit is due. TikTok has boosted the economy with mom and pop brick and mortar stores and helping, presidents get elected. So there is, TikTok, although people want to say TikTok is this and that, TikTok is a tool.
Hmm.
Okay. I would say use it as a tool, but a lot of people use it for just general nonsense. But what say you?
Oh my god, I don't even. Urban folk wanting to go viral for the absolute wrong things. We've seen it time and time again. This is no different. It will continue. It will not stop. And 5 years from now, it'll be another app. Because at one point we think these apps are, and when it's at its pinnacle, there's no other better app. There's nothing that can replace this. It's the best. It's the greatest. And then sure enough, some comes along and just
I mean, people were talking about, protesting to go over the red note. So you know what? Actually, let me tell you about that. So I was at work, right? I was at work. I'm trying to, I'm just getting through my work day. Well, I was starting my work day. Let me say that.
mhm.
Then a group of women, right? A group of women, they were talking about how, Trump is this and Trump is that, and Trump did this to TikTok and all that other stuff. I'm like, Trump isn't in office yet. It wasn't even Trump that gave the executive order to ban TikTok. You realize it was President Biden and his ilk, right?
Right.
Who said that shit. So it was like, what did Trump's not in. I wanted to say Trump's not in office, so you can't blame him yet,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like, oh, it's Trump's fault. Like, yo, this is how dumb people are. Like first off, it's the Supreme Court that signed off on it. That was number one. They voted on the shit, and Biden was the one that signed it in. So it's just it just shows you how stupid people are. Like I I got this. I'm sorry. You know, some of y'all, I love some of y'all, but some of y'all got to use that, you know, critical thinking skills ain't hitting sometimes. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
the worst
But
part of all this is you saw how many people flocked over and ran over to a communist ran app. Like, is for all the rhetoric about how bad communism is and China this, they were breaking their necks to go over there just to their app, just to find a replacement for the TikTok. I'm like, the people in this country are done. And a lot of them deserve to be where they're at, and no pity shall be given to them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So going back to what I was saying. So these women were just like saying how, oh, TikTok, oh, you know, I can't live without my TikTok. You know, you pay me and I have to live with roommates and I live in New York. I'm like, bitch, then leave. That's what I'm finna do. I'm not gonna complain about this shit. Fucking leave. If you hate New York so much, you don't like living with your roommates and all this other stuff, then fucking leave. But my job's here, but my friends are here. Fuck that shit. I was gonna say that, but I digress. I'm not gonna do that. But she was saying, but she was on the lines of saying, you know, like, I'm gonna go over to from TikTok to Red Note. I don't care. They can have my personal information. I'm like, I wanted to say y'all are cooked, but I'm not trying to get fired from my job. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough. You know, bad. There are just certain things where I'm just like, you know what, it ain't worth it. I would say, you know, y'all are cooked, but I think y'all know that you're cooked.
Well, it's not even about the personal info. I mean, every app is tracking you, but the fact that you haven't openly, ran, this is a communist site, right? This is one step into the furnace of communism and Marxism and all, because we're already basically socialist for the most part, damn near.
Sure, like I just want people to know that like Social Security is a form of socialism. Unions are a form of socialism. You didn't think about that, did you? Unemployment is a form of socialism. You
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to go down the line of the socialist things that we practice in this country? Stupid fucks. Anyway, anyway, and then people, I love the look on their faces when they went on a Red Note and they saw all the racist shit that the Chinese
Yeah.
people were saying. I
Good.
said, as
Yeah,
they
as they
should,
should. Yeah,
as they should.
yeah.
I didn't know how racist and misogynistic China was, and I sat there just smiling, just.
I mean, they don't see like the movie posters when it features black leads. They didn't learn where Black Panther came out. They
Yeah,
cover up the
that's
face, like I want to see your.
a woman did say that. A woman did say that. You know what she said? She one of the white, because she was a black lead to the white women that were working for her. So they're like in a lead, so in a build position. So I'll tell you how a build is, an audio build. So you have a chief, you have a crew chief, and then there are tons of builders that help you out with the build. So she's the lead, and it's a whole team of women. There's only like 2 males in there. So it's a black woman that's leading, then a bunch of white women that are under her. So basically it was she was talking about how, oh, here's how they did black people in Star Wars and all this other stuff, and they're just like, well, they're too, and the white women were just like making jokes, like it was like jokes about black people under the guise of compassion. I'm like, bro, these are just, it's blowing my mind how they saying this shit right in front of her. And I'm like, hey, yo, you ain't gonna check that? I was gonna say something because I was like, hey, yo, you ain't gonna check that shit because that's racist too. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. It's none of my business. It's Lodge's business. It ain't none of my business. You got a super chat. I'll let you.
Chef Cam C, thank you for the $2 super chat. You can lead a duck to water, but you can't make it drink or make it swim.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think no, Chef. We use a horse. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I've never heard the duck. I've never heard the duck was used. That's new to me.
But it's just like, like you TikTok. Okay, let me say this. before we go into the slow roasting of the manosphere. TikTok as a Chinese app in China is a lot more different because they all they do is they got the J-pop, they got the K-pop thing going on, they
Yeah,
got
yeah,
the
yeah.
J-pop on, but a lot of their stuff, and I saw it in China, it's all about like working. They use that as like a tool to show you how to work on things versus everywhere else where it's just complete fuckery.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying? Like
even their classroom settings, the kids, the toddlers, they clean up, they get the trash. They're taught, it's a culture of respect and honor, especially towards the elders. Yeah,
yeah, of
yeah,
course.
it's a culture, and their culture is vastly different than American culture. So, which is why a lot of their
Yeah.
Japanese kids kind of rebel against it because it's so regimented, it's so rigid, and it's like so dogma. It's like, no, this is what you're going to be. This is what you do. This is how you do it. There's no deviation from it, But yeah,
I mean, I would assume that's why they have a lot of hikikomoris walking around. If you know
yeah,
what those are,
yeah.
hikikomori. It's like the Japanese version of an incel or a neat, for
Hmm.
so to speak. But that's beside the point. But I mean, going over to, I was like, you know what? I had to do my due diligence. I had to go over to Red Note I just had to peek just to see what was on Red Note. I'm just like, yep, and I'm deleting this app today.
Oh, I listen. I was never gonna go over there for one, and for two, I was just like, okay, if it goes, it goes. Like apps have come and gone before. This is no different, you know.
Oh yeah, man. It's just I don't know. It's a crapshoot, bro. But all right, all right. The moment we all been waiting for. All right, like how do we slow roast the manosphere one more time? Because 2025. What else can I say other than nobody cares? I did. What was it? Ty said he did tell us about the SNL skit with the balloon. Oh, bro, that
Oh,
that
that was
shit made me
funny.
laugh.
That was
That
funny.
was funny. I
Yeah.
think the last one, the last guy with his shirt off, Larry, was like,
Ashy Larry.
bruh,
Yeah.
yeah, actually, Larry, bruh, boom. Everybody, all the women popped the balloon.
Well, it just goes to show. This is why you never wanted it to go mainstream because the rest of America society is going to be like, this is incel behavior.
Yes, yeah, dude, bro, like you can only tell the dude that lives in Thailand, you know, going from shack to shop, doing live streams outside, has no house, no home, a wayward son, I guess. You can only tell him like how else can you defend the space that casted you out and has failed? How can you do that? How do you
I think it's worse that him and his ilk still feel like it can be saved or salvaged or dusted off or cleaned
can't.
off or shined up. Like
It can't.
it's listed as a hate group. What else is there to
Yeah,
talk about?
dude. Yeah, it's dude. FBI on your ass, CIA on your. Listen, I'll tell you this, man. Like I'll tell you this when I was Red Sings the Blues, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I went over to Real Femme Sapien because I got tired of people calling me at 3 o'clock. I tell you, 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning about topics I did not give a shit about. People calling me when I'm like I'm bunka bunka bunka. I'm neck deep in some ass, right? About topics I don't care about. And this was the time where my channel was, it was dying down. I'm gaining, so I'm going back outside and I'm meeting women again. And I'm just, like I'm neck deep in ass, nigga. I don't care about what Kevin Samuels or the Passport Bros are doing, nigga. I'm getting mine out here. What the fuck you mean? Nigga, the fuck you mean? But it just told me everything I needed to know that these dudes it's going to get worse. Okay. 2025, you already saw, the people, you saw these men out here riding cars into, in the New Orleans part, like running through people, all that other stuff. Men's mental health is going to be at an all-time low. okay, this year
Mm-hmm.
and the years to come. Okay, I already see it. I see it because it's just like, all right, look, y'all had 20, 50, I give it 15 to 20 years, 15 to 20. And in the last 15 to 20 years, what have you done?
They gotta keep
15
warning.
to 20.
They gotta keep warning the future generations of men how bad Keisha is. They gotta keep ringing the alarm.
I'll tell you how bad Keisha is. I'll tell you how bad Keisha is. I'll tell you how bad Keisha. I'll tell you how bad Keisha is. You want to know why? You want to know why I shacked up with one? I shacked up with one. I am currently in a relationship with a quote unquote Keisha, so to speak, a black woman, okay? A Keisha, somebody that they didn't want before, right? They wanted to say, I'm better than you. But then when shacked up with somebody like me or somebody else, right? You chose wrong. You're supposed to. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you that, nigga, you don't get pussy. Okay, sorry you don't. You have no assets. That's number 2. You're not interesting to any woman. That's number 3. And number 4, it's okay. You know, it's okay. I'm going to say this as a guy. It's okay. All right. You don't got it like that. That's okay. More for me. Okay. More for me.
I find it funny when they always want to use nature as a comparison. And I'm like, do you watch nature videos? Do you see how cruel nature is? The young get it, the old get it. Even the healthy ones you think are going to survive towards the end for the sequel, they get it. Like, it's nobody is safe in nature. And nature is extremely brutal. So I'm like, this is the wrong comparison. Yeah. So basically,
nature dictated, and if nature dictated, nigga, you far from cooked.
Think about it. How many little cat bloodlines have we seen go extinct because the mother got kicked out the pride, and the male wanted his own cubs. He kills the little cubs that don't belong to him, and or the old male that dies off by himself because he's too old to catch up and
shit. I went on.
Yeah, come on, like
shit. I went on Facebook today. I'm trying to do some. I'm trying to do a search for some gigs, nigga. I saw a bunch of lions. I saw this lion getting ripped up by his own kind. I'm like, damn, nature, you scary, dude. Like, goddamn. And I just sat there and all like, goddamn, they kind of just ripping the shit out of this lion, bro. Like, the hell? And I'm thinking to myself, damn,
man,
what did he do to make that man?
You see the baby zebra surrounded by a bunch of hyenas, and all the grown zebras are too scared to defend off the. I mean, it's like, what, you want to use nature as that, as because you're going to get left behind. You're going to get kicked out. You're not going to get chosen. Your bloodline will go extinct. Like, that's the reality when they want to bring in nature. And I'm like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, when I said nature dictates, half of y'all niggas ain't living. Okay, yeah. Y'all better be glad for Western medicine and social security and social safety nets. Because if nature dictates, I pay for monkeys like them to exist. all you should see my pay stubs, man, and it burns me every day when I'm like, y'all monkeys better dance. Y'all monkeys better dance. but two in the veil. Okay, now when I was a part of the space, I tried my best to help young men. Club Fortune as my witness. You can ask him. He is my true blue witness. Shout out to Club. Okay, I have tried. I have failed, and I said it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna stay on my side of it. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'm gonna pivot. And most of them can't even pivot. I feel bad for them, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, like, where are you gonna go?
Well, it's funny you said mental health, and clearly, a lot of these guys are not mentally well to the point where, you know, they spend hours and hours on. I mean, you can actually see the progression, or either their sickness progress or them regressing just in every way over the last 5-6 years. And some of these men have gotten angrier with their rhetoric over the last 5 or 6 years. And it's like, you got a bunch of ticking time bombs, basically. You know,
dude. Like, listen, Yeah, there's just too many ticking time bombs out here. I would say like this is gonna be. I mean, you thought 2024 was the age of the crash out. The nigga 2025 gonna be the hugest. It's gonna be the age of the crash out.
Well,
It's gonna be. It's gonna be like Planet of the Apes. It's gonna be the rise of the Planet of the Crash Out.
yeah, I'm no Keisha savior, but I would be worried for women to date some of these guys. Like, you really do you know who you're dealing with? Like, have you seen this content? Maybe you should take a look, see, and listen. Because some of these guys, man, it's just a matter of time before one semi-prominent YouTuber in that space goes off the rails and
I mean,
hurt somebody.
we've seen it with.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen it with what was his name? Frank Uncle Frank.
yeah, he was a
Uncle
he
Frank.
was a content consumer, but I think it's just going to be a matter of time before you see a content creator, semi-prominent, go off the rails on a woman, and it'll be
I
news.
got I got my money on Ed. I got my money on Little Eddie.
Oh my
I
God,
got my money on
that
Little
guy,
Eddie.
that guy.
I,
Listen,
I
he
got
needs
my
he
money on
needs
him.
our prayers. That young man he's a ticking time bomb for sure.
Oh boy, there's a bunch of them.
He's a
I did
digital,
hear.
not
I
analog,
did hear.
digital.
We did everyone's favorite General Chomo back
Yo,
for a limited time only.
wait, because I didn't watch his stuff. He spent
I don't-
2.5 hours going over your old content. I'm like, he doesn't even do that in content anymore. So why would he? What's the point? I'm not understanding.
I sat there and laughed. I was like, holy shit. I was like, dude. I said, back from the grave, I still haunt y'all niggas.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
I'm like, I'm in the grave from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky.
So it,
And
it
you
sounds
left
like
my
he's gonna
name,
go at he's gonna try and roast everybody he's roasted before, and then ask for
and
the
it's not
people in
gonna
it.
work.
Yeah, come on, man.
It's not gonna work.
That dude's still stuck in 2016. It's fucking dinosaur, man. Dinosaur, bro. Just go ahead and die off, man, please.
Your old niggas gotta go.
Well, no, it's kind of it's a bit worrisome when you realize you live in some of these people's heads rent free. It's like you really shouldn't be giving me this type of attention or this much attention.
That's what I said. That's what I'm like, yo, why do I get what did I live in your head rent free like this?
Yeah,
Like the real femme sapien thing be damned. I live in your head rent free like this? God damn. Well, shit. Stay your ass over there because you don't want to come over here. Okay. I say good offenses for a good reason. Because I may not look like a Adonis, but nigga, I do go to the range. Okay. I listen. And that's why I'm moving to Texas, because I will have to stand ground at some point. Okay. And in New Jersey, you gotta have a permit to do that.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's a bit concerning. I'm just like, you should never give me this much power. I should not be on your mind to this degree. Like
But that's like I listen, I do nothing to people. I don't make that content anymore. I moved past everything. I moved past the real femme, and she's a pay for play. She was on, what was it? Love Don't Judge. It turns out her whole relationship's a pay for play thing. So I'm just like sitting there like,
so you won in the
y'all
end.
y'all niggas fell for it.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas fell for that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fell for that. I didn't fall for it. I'm just, after what happened with me and her, I did not make a video the first because I already knew. All right. I talked to her after that. Dude, I was like, yeah, thank you. Thank you. You set me free from all of this because I didn't want to be a part of this no more. Like niggas, you got niggas talking about like Edward Anderson talking about me. BGS was talking about me. A bunch of people. I'm just sitting there like, man, I can't live in your heads rent free like this, man.
Mm-mm.
But y'all let the door. If there's one thing, if I can blame somebody, it's all of them because they left the door open. I just walked in. Anybody with a microphone and an opinion could walk into the manosphere. So that's what happened to it. But again, I would say also, I guess what I could say from, and I know some people are gonna call me a simp or a black woman sympathizer, but not all black women are terrible. I should
Uh-oh.
know because I'm
Don't
dating
say
one.
that. Don't say that.
Oh no! I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go
Uh-oh.
there. I'm gonna go there. Not all black women are terrible. My women, my female ain't terrible. You know, she black. You know, she dog her ace of spades. I love it. But the thing about it is that, you know, we have a outlet. You know, we have an outlet. We talk, we converse, and and we make the relationship work. Okay, but again, it's more or less of who do you want to build with?
Mhm.
Because I think at the end of the day, when we're talking about like the whole dating and mating relationship thing, right? Like you gotta think about it like this: when you're laying up with somebody, excuse me, when you're investing money in somebody, because I mean, she's investing in me, I'm investing in her, so that the shit's going both ways, right? The door is swinging both ways
Right,
on all
right,
this.
right.
So you have to think about, is this worth it or is it not? Because some days it is, some days it isn't.
Mhm.
But I can tell you what's not worth it: being around a bunch of niggas in a sausage fest talking about women. Okay. At a certain point, nigga, I don't want to see you. Okay. I want some ass. I want some titties. I'm sorry. I'm just hardwired that way. Okay. That's how I am. I don't like being in a listen, I will bunt heads with the bros. I'll be shredding guitars with bros, but nigga, I ain't homies over hoes. Okay? I ain't that. Sorry, it's not me. That's not me. Okay? I'm going, if a woman telling me to get your ass over to my house because I want to suck your dick, yes, I'm going. Okay? A woman, there's a whole harem of women waiting for Red Stings Blues. I'm going. Okay? A woman invite me to a all-female cabaret, nigga, I'm going. Okay? Nigga, if Hugh Hefner was alive and he invited me to the Playboy house, nigga, I'm going. I'm going. Either which way I'm going. I'm sorry, I'm not built that way. I'm going, okay? I'm making it very clear. I'm not saying I'm straight. I'm just saying I'm going. Okay? I don't have to prove I'm straight. Any which way I'm getting some ass, I'm going.
Well, there's that.
But I mean, what can I say? I mean, look, it hasn't been, it's 18, 19 days actually. It's been 19 days and we're still trying to talk about female nature. Like, why? Just why? I think even, you know something, and it's not being talked about enough. I think Fresh is trying to really do his pivot.
Yeah, shout out
I
to
think
him. I'm happy for him.
I Yeah, I think you know, like I think he's really really trying to break away from Myron, and I think that needs to be celebrated because it's just like, yeah, after some point, if you know, sponsors ain't gonna take you and all these other people are kind of saying, yeah, we don't want the fresh and fit brand. It's like,
Yeah, the brand
might as
is
well just pivot.
yeah, the brand is so just oh yeah, I'm happy for him. I wish he'd done it sooner, like a year ago, but I'm happy for him and I hope he doesn't. I think he understands now how to do this and which path not to go down. I think he's learned major lessons because look at all the
Yeah.
money it's cost him and Myron,
It's,
all the
it's
potential
just
loss.
cost him. Yes, it's cost him millions. It's cost it. Listen, after 2 years, it's cost you millions of dollars, and
Easily.
Myron's going on rant and tangents and saying, "Well, we'll see how much money I made." I'm like, dude, if Rumble says no, at some point, Rumble's gonna say, "Yeah, fuck free speech. We gonna go this way, okay?" And at some point, all of them gonna do it. Twitter's doing it. Twitter's going that way.
I'm all for brotherhood, but not to the point where it's impacting you financially negatively. Like, no, at some point, something
No.
has to be done, you know. So I'm
Listen,
happy for him.
I've learned brotherhood. Brotherhood does not mean a damn thing when money comes into play and females come into play. Okay, if there is a lottery ticket with $2 million on the pick 5, niggas, see you later. If there, like I said before, I'll have to go over it again.
Well, no, just like with when the super chats first came on, and you know, see how everybody acted when the super chats first dropped. It didn't take long. It didn't take long.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, but money is I guess you could say money is the root of all evil, but also just when brotherhood is really like I said, don't use nature. Do not use nature, because brotherhood does not give a fuck. Nature does not give a fuck about brotherhood. At the end of the day, it is the strongest male who is going to survive. I'm sorry. Y'all better be lucky. Y'all live in the grandiose US of A with the apple pie and the white picket fence. Because social safety nets and Western medicine keeps half of y'all, just beer belly niggas alive. And I'm just waiting for the day. Okay, I'm like, yo, nah, something gonna give. Either that McDonald's Big Mac that the angry man eats, or some of y'all's just crash outs, just stressing out over nothing.
They're gonna be all right. They'll be all right eventually.
Eventually. All right, man. Give it 2 more weeks. I got a lot of shit to do.
For sure.
All right, man. Peace out.
Okay, bro. All right. That was show number 2. You know what? Do I have anything? I mean, I could go on for a little bit. Okay, listen. If you give me one, if you want me to stay on for a little longer, I got like another 30 minutes in me. We can talk about some other stuff if you want. Totally up to you guys. If not, it's not a problem. Yeah. Watchers are always free to hit the like button. You got time? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. What could we talk? Could I bring up real quick? Oh, you know what? Okay, let's do this. I got some. Do I have some more Twitter rabbit holes that we can go down? I think I got some rabbit holes we can go down. Okay. I got rabbit holes. I got spare rabbit holes. Okay. No, not that. Okay. I got spare rabbit holes. Yeah. It's crazy, right? Make it make sense. Okay. Spare rabbit holes. Ready? Let's go.
Let's say the cops were following you. Yeah. Let's say they were following you and they did everything that you're saying they did. Nonetheless, you killed 7 men. Yes, you did. And I'm asking you what...
Lord have mercy. This is Eileen Warnos. She's no longer with us. I think she's one of the first women ever to be, put on death row and actually executed. Charlize Theron played her in her biopic. Listen, I hate to say this. I don't want to be that guy, but when I hear the term divine femininity, this is what I envision.
You to kill the 7
and I'm
men.
telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
Not everybody is killing 7 people.
Lord have mercy.
So there must have been something in you that was getting you to do that.
Oh, you are lost, Nick.
So
I was a hitchhiking hooker.
Right.
Running into trouble. I'd shoot the guy if I ran into trouble.
Do you see how the man is still trying to find some semblance of humanity in this woman? Like, you didn't mean to do that. Why would you do? This man would be a victim. This man that's trying to talk some semblance of sanity into this woman, he would be victim number 8 if they ever cross paths outside of this place.
Physical trouble. The cops knew it. When the physical trouble came along, let her clean the streets, and then we'll pull her in.
But
that's
how come
why.
there was so much physical trouble? Because it was all in 1 year. 7 people in 1 year.
Oh well.
Dog, she killed 7 men in 1 year. I didn't know it was. Gee, I didn't know it was in 1 year. She's putting in work. Oh Lord, Eileen Warnos. I hate to say it, but when I see divine femininity, that's what I envision. That is exactly what I envision. That's bad for me to say. Okay. What else? Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so I want you guys to peep the conversation between the Christian, the believer, versus said demon. Okay, very, very interesting here. Okay, let's go.
Now, if a man died for your sins and my sins.
Okay, wait. Let me look up John 5:24. Because there's a very, very interesting take here on this conversation. Let me see. John 5:24. What does that tell us? Okay, truly, truly, I say to you, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life. He does not come into judgment, but has passed from death to life. Never doesn't mean never. Okay. Oh, okay. So in this verse, Jesus says that those who listen to his words and believe in God will have eternal life and will not be judged. They will have passed from death to life and will not be condemned for their sins. Oh. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's continue.
Could you tell me, please, why is there a judgment?
Stop trusting Jesus so much, get behind me, Satan.
Wait, no, listen.
Okay, so the demon says your lifestyle is key to salvation. But then the Christian says, Jesus says otherwise, Ephesians 2:8-9. What the hell? So okay, so I'm going to assume, let's go look up Ephesians, that your only salvation is through Christ, right? So the lifestyle part has nothing to do with it. Interesting. Ephesians 2:8-9 tells us, for by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one may boast. So this God is such a megalomaniac. Never mind what you do. You're in and out, your daily living. It's only through grace, through him, Okay, interesting. Let's continue.
If he died for my sins, then I don't have to pay.
If you don't follow the law, you're not saved. Where there is no law, there is no transgression. Romans 4:15. Oh, so if there's no law to be broken, then you don't so you don't suffer the consequences if there's no law to be broken? Interesting. Lots of contradictions in the holy book.
Because my debt has been paid. So what is all this talk about the punishment of hell?
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's continue. Move that to trash. All right. Let's go to Blockbuster. Everyone's seen this clip from the Blockbuster.
Still come here and rent movies. Lots of choices. It's just kind of fun to come and look around and see what's here.
Companies are rapidly developing new technologies.
Stephen Hill views the video industry from his desk at Sutro and Company.
People will be able to have movies on their TV screens on demand, so they could, in essence, dial a few numbers and call up any movie from a wide library of movies to be shown when they want it to be shown.
Pay-per-view was liable at that time to be perhaps a $3 billion plus market, but home video will be $20 billion.
But staying home, even if the choices are there, may not be the viewer's first pick.
Well, that's basically making an assumption that people want to be couch potatoes and not dancing raisins.
Of course.
Boy, did they miss that one? Did they drop the ball on that one? Now, mind you, pay-per-view was back in the 70s. I remember watching a Kiss concert, pay-per-view. I remember my dad buying a couple boxing boxing matches pay-per-view. This is like late 70s, early 80s, right? So clearly the analysts saw what was going on, but this guy is the vice president. So I guess he underestimated the power of being a couch potato. He overestimated the value of being a dancing raisin. Boy, Blockbuster, they could have been Netflix 10 times over.
There is a price to pay at the end of the month in the form of this, a bill. But it probably won't be as much as it would be to go to the movies with a family member or a friend. I won't have to stand in line. I won't have to find a place to park.
Wow, how did they miss that so badly? And they had time to catch up. That is insane. All right. Where's my rabbit hole coming? Let me see. Where is this one at? Boom, 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 scoop, boom, boom. Hey, let's do Rasputin. Okay? Rasputin is not talked about a lot, but the psychology behind Rasputin is extremely deep, extremely fascinating, and a lot of his tactics are still used today. So let's take a look here. A Russian peasant proved this in 1916. The most powerful people are the easiest to control. Okay, he discovered a psychological flaw in human nature. Let's go. Let's see. This man had no education, no wealth, no status. Yet within years, he would control the most powerful empire on earth. Okay, they called him Rasputin, a peasant turned mystic. But while everyone focused on his supernatural powers, the real magic was happening behind the scenes. Let's see. Okay. The Russian Empire test subjects, the most powerful aristocrats in the world, a fatal flaw in human psychology that no amount of power could protect against. By 1905, he had infiltrated the royal palace. By 1908, he controlled the Tsar's decisions. By 1915, he was effectively running Russia. He discovered what every human secretly craves, even emperors, especially emperors. His power grew through information. Every aristocrat who sought his spiritual guidance revealed their deepest fears and desires. Each confession became a weapon. Each secret became a chain of control. The pattern was brilliant. Noble X confides weakness. Rasputin helps them. They become dependent. He gains their loyalty. Soon he had eyes and ears in every corner of Petersburg, from servants to ministers, all reported to him. By 1912, his web was complete. He could tell you what the finance minister whispered to his mistress, what the war minister's wife wrote in her diary, and which generals were planning to betray the Tsar. Power isn't about what you know, it's about what others fear you know. This is deep. Let's continue. The aristocracy thought they were immune. They had generations of breeding, the finest education, unlimited power, unlimited wealth, absolute power. But these strengths were actually weaknesses, and Rasputin saw it. His method was devastating in its simplicity. Step 1, create uncertainty. He predicted disasters. Step 2, demonstrate unique certainty. He prevented them. Step 3, become the sole provider. He made himself essential. His influence became absolute, controlled ministerial appointments, dictated military decisions, influenced foreign policy, managed royal relationships, all without holding a single official position. Okay? The secret: humans don't ultimately crave power, they crave certainty. The more power someone has, the more uncertainties they face, the more desperately they need someone who appears to have answers. This same technique is being used today. When someone highlights unprecedented uncertainty, claims unique understanding, offers exclusive certainty, they're using Rasputin's blueprint. Okay? Let's continue. The most dangerous part this works on: world leaders, business titans, intellectual elites. Intelligence doesn't protect you. Power makes you more vulnerable. The antidote: when facing uncertainty, ask, who benefits from my confusion? Who positions themselves as the only answer? That's how you break the spell. Rasputin's final prophecy. He wrote to the Tsar, "If I die by common men, you and your children will rule Russia for centuries. If I die by nobles, your family will fall within 2 years. He was killed by nobles. The Romanovs fell exactly 2 years later. Okay? Remember, Rasputin wasn't magical. He wasn't superhuman. He simply understood human psychology better than anyone in his time. And that was more powerful than all the armies in Russia. Okay? Yes. Listen, they tried everything on that dude. And I believe this is how you get the War of the Three Kings. This is how you got the War of the Three Kings. Right? What movie breaks that down? Was it The Kingsman? There was a Kingsman movie that had Rasputin as the main villain. And it broke down how the three kings came to war and how Rasputin was kind of playing them all against each other. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Esther Villers, the manipulated man. Yes. To this day. Okay. It was the third Kingsman movie? Okay, cool. That was a good flick. It was a deep flick. It was deep. Okay, what else we got? Boop, 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 boop. What is this? Oh, do we care about this? I don't care about. Do I care about Greenland? Nah. We'll do that some other time. I don't care about Greenland like that. I don't care about Greenland. Oh, let's do this. A thread of the worst torture methods in human history. Flaying is a method of slow and painful torture or execution in which skin is removed from the body, generally an attempt made to keep the removed portion of skin intact. Rat torture was a method used in medieval times. It worked by putting a pot of hungry rats into a cage that was strapped to the victim's stomach. Then the cage was slowly heated, making the distressed rats chew and claw through the victim trying to escape. Crucifixion was once a brutal form of humiliating death. The victim was nailed to a cross or pole, often in public, and left to hang, bleeding from their wounds until sepsis, starvation, or exposure finally set in. Death could take over a week. Bamboo torture was a method that involved restraining the victim over a bamboo sapling. Bamboo grows rapidly, and in this case, the sapling would grow and pierce the anus, continuing to grow into the victim's body. Oh, that's horrible. This is bad. The Brazen Bull. The Brazen Bull was a torture and execution device designed in ancient Greece. The victim would be locked inside a large bronze bull, and a fire would be set under, heating the metal until the person inside was slowly roasted to death. And then it would have these air holes when the person would scream. You could hear the screams throughout out the mouth of the bull. Oh my gosh! Let's continue. Oh, this is crazy. I didn't know this one. A medieval form of torture included salting the criminal's feet and having a goat lick until the flesh became raw. Who knew? Execution by elephant was a common torture method in South and Southeast Asia. Dating back to ancient times, it involves crushing the victim with an elephant trained for that purpose. Jeezy Pete. The severity varied. Some victims were released after minor injuries, while others endured brutal torture until the elephant delivered the fatal blow. The heretic's fork. This is bad. The heretic's fork was a small metal device with two opposed bi-pronged forks attached to a belt. One sharp end was placed against the victim's throat and the other against their sternum. The victim was forced to hold their head up. If they dropped it, the prongs would pierce their neck and chest. Boy, that's nasty work. That's nasty work. Let's continue. Impalement was a method of execution common in the 15th century. Victims were made to sit on a sharp pole or spear, which would impale them through the torso, with the tip eventually coming out through their mouths. Now this is bad. The pear of anguish was a medieval European torture device, a pear-shaped metal or wooden tool that expanded when a screw was turned, causing severe pain. It was inserted into a victim's mouth, anus, or vagina as punishment, often for blasphemy, witchcraft, or homosexuality. So you can only imagine this thing gets, you screw it, and it just opens up more and more and more. Okay? Scaphism was a brutal execution method where the victim was trapped between two boats, coated with honey and force-fed. Left in the sun or a stagnant pool, they were slowly eaten alive by insects and rodents, leading to a prolonged and agonizing death. The rack was a popular torture device used to extract information. The victim's ankles were tied to a roller below and their waist to a roller above. The torturer would turn a wheel, slowly increasing the tension on the victim's joints until their limbs were dislocated or even torn off. The ancient Chinese method of execution known as Ling Shi is better known by the more descriptive term death by 1,000 cuts. This form of torture involved slicing into the victims repeatedly until they died. It was normally reserved for the most severe crimes. The head crusher worked by slowly increasing the pressure on the victim's skull through a turning wheel. Initially, the victim's teeth would be forced into their jaw. Further turning would cause the eyeballs to pop out and fluid to leak from the nose, ears, and eyes. This looks bad. A raw camel hide known as shiri was a torture method used by steppe tribes of Mongolia and Kyrgyzstan. The hide was stretched over the victim's shaved head. Afterwards, the victim was tied down and left without water and food in the steppe. The drying of the camel skin created insufferable pressure on the skull. The hair couldn't grow out and instead grew inwards. The victims which somehow survived this torture suffered from amnesia. What? The breaking wheel was a brutal medieval torture and execution device. It prolonged the victim's agony by breaking their bones before they died. A garrote is a weapon and method of capital punishment. The condemned would sit with a metal clamp wrapped around their neck before the executioner turned the screw, which would theoretically burst their brainstem, killing them instantly. The Spanish tickler, also known as the cat's paw or the devil's claw, was a torture device that originated in medieval Spain. The device consisted of a long, thin rod with a series of spikes or barbs at the end. The torturer would use the device to rip and tear the victim's flesh, causing extreme pain and often resulting in serious injury or death. Death by sawing is the act of sawing or cutting a living person in half, either sagittally, usually mid-sagittally, or transversely. Good grief. Good Lord, people. The Spanish horse. This is bad. This is bad. The Spanish horse was notorious for humiliating, crippling, and slicing open victims. The victim was forced to mount this simple yet effective torture device, and weights were added to their legs to prevent them from falling over and to increase the pressure on their crotch. As more weights were added, the sharp edge slowly cutting into their crotch. Need I say more? The scavenger's daughter was a torture device used during the 16th century. The victim's head was placed at the top of an A-shaped frame while they knelt. The device compressed the victim so severely that it often caused their ears and nose to bleed. A woman condemned to die of starvation in pre-Soviet Mongolia. Wow, wow, wow. The Chinese water torture was primarily psychological, designed to drive the victim mad. The victim would be tied down and water would slowly drip onto their forehead, eventually driving them insane. The Blood Eagle. If you watch the movie, this TV series, Vikings, I forget who got in trouble, but they performed a Blood Eagle on one of the Vikings. It was a torture method used by the Vikings and consisted of incising the condemned man's back, separating the ribs from the spine, and spreading the lungs like the wings of an eagle. Humans, man. Humans. Let's continue. The tub torture method involved placing the convicted person in a wooden tub with only their head sticking out. Their face was then painted with milk and honey, attracting flies and insects. The victim would also be fed regularly until they ended up swimming in their own excrement. The Judas cradle was created to disgrace and torture victims by slowly impaling them. The tip of the pyramid-shaped Judas cradle would be inserted into the victim's private parts, usually the anus. The victim would then be slowly lowered onto the pyramid, causing their body to be torn open as they were further lowered. Ooh, that's bad. Traditional methods like stretching the victim's body on a rack were also used. The victim's tendons and ligaments were stretched till they snapped loudly. When stretched out too much, their muscles would lose the ability to contract and victims would be paralyzed for life. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it there. Yeah. That's enough for... Hey, you know who's good at this stuff? Who's excellent at this stuff? The God 720. The God 720. I've been watching him for years. And I think I'm going to reach out to him at some point to get him on. But that medieval stuff, like bubonic plague and just how Europeans got down back then, he is excellent in his material and his works. I bought his first book, 6 years ago, The Black Man's Bible. I likes the God 720. So I'm going to at some point reach out to him. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for coming through. Everybody that, hey man, listen. I want to thank Jehu, Chef Kamsey for donating tonight. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all you hate watchers too as well. So I think I'm gonna put this on members only just because. Y'all have a good night. Peace.